Very cool. That's very cool.
Okay. Now here's a very experienced pilot
Yeah.
and ex-instructor. Did you see what I had to do to make sure we didn't end up in the drink when
Yeah,
I
that
got
was-
on the ground?
Yeah,
So what did I do?
you laid this foot down first, and you just glided on that foot until this one came down. Alright? We're
Correct
on a
them on
slope, so
Correct them on that. Had I put that wheel down
at that speed.
at that speed, regardless, because the higher the speed,
Yeah.
the more control you have over it.
Oh, yeah.
I nearly came to grief. I nearly got egg on my face.
Yeah.
I only had a few hours up my sleeve, but me being me,
Yeah.
landed at Mission Beach with another guy. There was
Yeah.
only two of us around, and there were some people there, and like a lot of us, you know, you think you're so bloody smart. Well, I landed, like, you know, this is supposed to have brakes,
Yeah.
but I took the brakes off years ago
Yeah, righto.
because they're not real good. If you have to use brakes, you got it wrong.
Yeah, okay.
But they are important in certain situations.
Yeah.
That's not, no need to worry about that now. But no brakes. Most ultralights have no brakes there. I land, much better beach than this.
Yeah.
I'm starting to run out of airspeed, and all of a sudden it went zip, and I'm going into the drink.
Yeah,
I
righto.
couldn't pull it up, I had no brakes.
Had nothing.
And it just pulled up just before I got to the water.
So this would dig in
Same aircraft,
and furnace.
same aircraft. I've got a lot of stories, mate.
Yeah, true, eh?
Guys who've got a lot of stories and are still around are probably the best
Worth
guys to
listening
learn
to.
from.
Yeah, for sure.
I hadn't got many hours up my sleeve.
Yeah.
Our local dentist down there, Frank, you've got to come down, you've got to come down. So okay, I fly down. The only other bloke was a bloke that had another ultralight, a factory bought one, and a Skydart. So we go down. I had a tank on each wing, and I had fuel taps. I made the mistake of going up. He offered me a stubby, and I made the mistake of taking it and drinking it. I'm a cheap drunk, so that was enough. It must have affected.
Just,
I go back down. They're standing on the beach, just trying to go, you know.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to take off first. I'll take off. Now, you would have saw when I took off at home, I would have done a fair bit of weaving around before I started heading over.
To gain altitude. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Because
you
by
were
the time I'm halfway across, if I can't make home or back to here,
Yeah.
I'm nuts.
Yeah, that's right. Straight to the
Land down in the
mountain.
middle of this shit, and best we're going to get smashed up.
No, no
We'll
good.
probably die because we won't be able to get out of there.
Yeah,
By the time they find us,
you'll be done.
so this particular day, in front of the houses, I jump in, vroom, up I go. Yeah, I've got plenty of height. Remember that was the days when we were flying below 500 feet.
Yeah,
So I go out over the water to keep the beach in case the same as I did here,
yeah,
the engine quit,
true.
and I'd just gone that little bit too far out.
Okay.
I made it to about where that wave just crashed.
Feel it. Bang. Jesus.
No harm done.
But lesson
Pull
learned.
the fucking thing out, dry it off. By this time I'm quite nervous. Fire it up, see what I did wrong. Didn't turn the fuel on.
Oh.
It's incredible how far they'll go.
Just on what was in the tube.
Barbie.
Eh?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
So fire it up. Away I go. Flew it all the way down the beach to the other end. Sweating like buggery to do the turn, and I'm thinking, please don't stop. I'm willing it not to stop because in the drink there I'd have been in trouble.
Yeah.
I get back to the mate and the houses there and the dentist, and going good, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, fire it up, take off, boom, stop.
True.
By this time I'm a total wreck. This time I hadn't turned the fuel, hadn't forgot the fuel.
Yeah.
Salt water, mate, it's happened on more than one occasion. Salt water can corrode your ignition switches and that so fast, it's just, you've got to see it to believe it.
It's crazy, eh?
Because it isn't the only time it happened to me.
Yeah, okay.
That's how I know.
Yeah.
So, By this time I reckon it's getting late in the afternoon. Do you know it took me over a week to fly that aircraft back home?
Yeah, right.
Why?
Yeah.
Because every time I went down early in the morning,
Yeah.
I'd take off, there'd be what appeared to be no wind whatsoever. I'd take off, and as soon as I got up around the top of the trees, all hell broke loose.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't know why. That's why you've got to know your theory.
Yeah.
I didn't know why.
Yeah, right.
Because, especially in winter time, not so much now, but in winter time when we're getting the land breeze, the wind's coming down the Russell River there, beside that mountain there.
Yeah.
It can come down to 15, 20 knots in the morning.
Just comes over the top. So it's good to hit down here.
I was in the turbulent zone.
Yeah. Between.
That's the same here.
Yeah.
You come here.
Yeah.
When there's a strong northwesterly.
Yeah.
Mate, you don't want to be here.
Nah, for sure.
Here's another trap that caught me a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
After all these years' experience, I've landed on the beach. I'm looking for pippies. It was quite a windy day, quite rough. Stupid me. Never chopped the fucking wheels.
Oh.
I turned around to look to see if there was any pippies. I turned back around. It's in the drink.
Got to chock them wheels, eh?
Well, today there's not enough wind to do that.
But
So you see, no matter how smart you are, no matter how experienced
smart you think you are, yeah.
Okay? So you're always looking for the unknown factor.
That's it.
So, okay, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to shoot this video.
Yeah. Yeah, sweet.
Well, I'm not going to do it here now. Just go for a quick walk.
Might go for a stroll over and have a look.
Yeah, I think today it's pretty safe to walk around. Get the strength to pull the basket out of the water.
Yeah, true.
And
Tide's coming up.
In sheer desperation.
You got it.
Yeah. You want me to tell you how I got it? And this is something unusual because I don't really, I don't pray to God or any of that sort of thing. I was in such a bad situation. The tail's in the drink, not the rest of the aircraft.
Okay.
I couldn't move it. The hands lights outside and it wasn't happening. And I screamed out, "Please help me, God!"
He did.
And it must have just given me that little bit more adrenaline.
Adrenaline and woof.
And I managed to move
Or
it.
did God help you? Really help you? Maybe he did.
Maybe he did, Bruce. That's the point.
Maybe he did.
I keep an open mind, mate.
That's it.
Maybe he did, or she.
Or she. Yeah.
But I'm already sorry I didn't put something on the feet. Because if there's one thing that really gets me, it's fucking sunburned feet.
Hot sand, yeah. What was the tide going down to today?
Oh, Jesus, mate,
One
I
something?
forget now. I was looking more at the time, and it was low enough, and I don't recall now.
Looks like this may have
I
even...
think it was still. Well, that's why I had to look real hard and make the decision.
Yeah.
Because if I get it wrong and I haven't read the sand properly,
Yeah.
we're in deep shit.
Yeah. Did well.
We're in deep shit because this stuff here.
Soft. Oh, isn't it harder the further it
This
goes
is the
down?
hardest stuff.
Yeah.
Mate, how do I know what I know?
Because you've
Because
done
I
it.
learned some out of books, and because I learned some out of fucking School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
I went down to Branson Beach years ago chasing pippies. I used to love it.
Yeah.
Too late in the afternoon to allow for something to go wrong.
Yeah.
I land. The sand was a bit softer than I calculated. I couldn't get back off.
True.
So now it's nearly dark and I've got to make a decision. If I try to walk out and leave the aircraft, I'm going to lose it. I'll probably get lost in the bush.
Yeah.
Probably get lost in the bush because it's a long way out to the track.
Yeah.
I tried this, I tried that, I tried a whole heap of things and nothing was working. Every time I'd apply power, it'd nose over. In the end, I woke up, the sand's got to be a lot firmer in the water.
Yep.
So I dragged it down. Waited for the wave to go, booked, and I got off.
Yeah, perfect.
Not perfect at all.
Well, that's how you worked it out.
Experienced blokes shouldn't make mistakes like that. But, so before you put down on a beach, you've got to make sure, and I know this beach reasonably well, but you see, on that course of 3 days, it even bothers me to walk away from the plane this far.
Yeah, true.
Because I know how easy, one good gust of wind you weren't expecting,
and moves it.
Which is what happened on that day here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of traps, mate, a fucking lot of traps. And you only learn those from those who are honest enough to tell you the mistakes they made.
Yeah, not a lot of people like admitting their faults.
No, because, you know, instead at this age, I got nothing to prove, and I want to pass on what I can to help someone else if possible. But gee, I love the way this looks at the moment.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, when I went up, maybe you can tell me why it does it.
Yeah.
It's done it a few times and fucked up some really good footage. When you shoot the video, it'll go brrr,
yeah,
and it runs it in fast motion.
Oh, the setting, yeah.
So
time-lapse mode, yeah.
Is it time-lapse?
Time-lapse mode, it's getting bumped into or something's going on.
Must be not the screen locked.
Yeah, that would it be.
So now I keep the screen locked.
Yeah.
And I keep it on, what's the one you press the button and away it goes?
Yeah, just quick record or whatever. Yeah.
I keep them on that now, but sometimes that plays up too and doesn't come on straight away.
This may even be a little bit more built up than when we were here that time. Salty?
Probably not. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it just had high tide, so.
A bit of salt water pushed up there.
Yeah, well.
That day that I came down with, and I did a little bit of footage of the crop track.
Yeah.
I was so disappointed I didn't walk over to sand that afternoon.
See if you could see him.
Morning, but
ah, cool.
You know, I'm cautious like anybody else with crocs, but I'm not paranoid about them. There's no marks here that there's evidence of a croc.
No.
Chances of it sitting in there are so fucking remote.
No, we would have saw it when we flew over. No crocs, which is good. No crocs. Beware of crocs. Good zone. I would have thought a lot of that tannin would have gone by now. The tannin. You know, the tannin in the water? I would have thought it a bit more washed out. Obviously this all fills up at some point. Surely there's like little barras and jacks and stuff that just get up in here and feed up in here. You can see it's maybe metre 20 worth of water that gets in here, probably up to where I'm sort of standing. Probably gets up to about here. From there down, that all fills up. Have to be a fish in high tide, surely. Come in here, hunt stuff in here. Surely. We'll come back and have a crack. Come back with a rod, have a crack. Surely there's a couple of fish in there.
That's pretty much the footage I wanted to get.
Yeah, cool.
Add to this video. Like I said to you,
cool.
you know, I felt the stupid thing even talking into the camera.
Mm.
I'm starting to overcome that, and
Yeah, it takes time.
yeah. Well, what I do now, if I want to add a little bit of what's the name audio that I didn't do like then, you just try and find that you've got an excellent tone of voice.
Yeah.
And I run the video so I get the sound.
Yeah.
Because there's no point having the sound of the ocean, then all of a sudden there's no sound of the ocean.
That's right.
Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah. That's it.
So I'll run the video and then talk into the camera.
Yeah.
So you put this little one together.
And then do a
Put it on
voiceover.
YouTube, because
Yeah.
the other day I got quite a surprise. I was looking, just going through your videos,
Yeah.
not your videos, you know, and when I see this section on, oh, what they call it, so I have a look at that, and it's got the views, like compared to you as cat. But for someone my age doing what I'm doing, and
Yeah.
I've been doing it for 12 months, and I didn't do it with any other reason than I could use your link. But someone said to me, hey Frank, you could take to the flying. And I said, yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But do you get hard currency?
You do, but you got to get to a fairly.
Correct.
You got to stick with it. You know, there's a couple. Get 1,000 subscribers. You have to get
1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a little bit different.
that, and you need 4,000 watch hours. So that just prevents just random spam people coming in and trying to scam the system. So that should be fairly easy
Oh, no.
for you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about it. That's okay. It'll be one dozen people who enjoy it, but it don't matter.
Yeah, but that's how you should start a YouTube channel.